The time. The time. Look at the time. It is after midnight. And do you hear that sound? That is the sound of happiness. Actually, that's the sound of happiness coming to a close. And this is the Sometimes Vlog. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. I can't really sing as I'm a little hoarse and a lot of person here at Disneyland after 1 in the morning at Main Street Station. Look at this. What I meant by happiness coming to a close is not that I'm unhappy. It's just that all these stragglers are now heading home to their homes to sleep well, because of course they've done their duty here at Disneyland. It's been a few minutes since I spoke to you guys, so rather than running around the park or doing anything crazy on Main Street, or rather than having any of my friends or comrades in the video, I thought I would just sit down on a bench at Main Street Station with you at closing time and just have a moment. Look at this, friends. I love just sitting up here. For years of my life, I've had an annual pass to Disneyland, and I often come, usually at night at closing time, and sit up on Main Street Station and look down at people leaving the park, so many smiles on their faces, and I often glance across the way at Walt Disney's apartment and this little balcony area there over at City Hall above the fire department and think, what must it have looked like for him going to bed up there and watching all these smiling faces as they left the park after a whole day of crazy adventure. Beats sitting on the couch, doesn't it? Crazy days at Disneyland. So what have I been up to? Well, of course, Allie has been in town, so I've been running around all crazy, going to Disneyland, doing wonderful things. I've also been finalizing a little bit of a crazy legal situation over all kinds of stuff in my personal life has been going on, so I haven't had much moments for vlogs. Brand new Random Land just uploaded though. Virginia City's historic Silver Terrace Cemetery is very cool, old Victorian Comstock load mining era cemetery in which, well, you'll see it, I found something that wasn't quite different kind of Random Land, sort of a change of pace, a little bit of, I don't know, it's more chill, more reflecting. When you're walking around in a cemetery, me personally, I don't like to run around and scream and be wild and funny. Not that the dead mind it. I think the dead, maybe if anything, would probably like. Wouldn't you like? I mean, if you're dead and if you can sense people after the fact, wouldn't you like it to be jovial and happy near your grave? I think so. So it's not that I find it disrespectful. It's just I'm always contemplative when I go to a place like that. Anyway, brand new Random Land up. I have been running around with my crazy friends and doing all kinds of wonderful things. Today I was at the Aquarium of the Pacific with my miniature version of myself and with Allie. So there's all kinds of Snapchats, Live Fast I Pour Snapchat, and Instagrams on Live Fast I Pour Instagram, a couple on my other Instagram, Justin Scar on Instagram, and Twitter, and all kinds of things were happening. I'm going to post some pictures on Facebook when I get home. But I am prepared. I am mostly just recovering from that crazy road trip still, and all kinds of stuff. Have Allie out here and just running around doing wild things. I'm mostly just recovering. And what's crazy is you can get caught up with working and caught up with doing videos and caught up with doing all these things. And of course, it's a little frustrating that I didn't get to do the Death Valley things that I wanted to do in Random Land terms and stuff. I spent all the money I had on this other camera I have, so like all of my money is gone too. So it's kind of one of those, whew, sit tight, rebuild the strength, you know, rebuild the ideas, doing a lot of research for a lot of other Random Land things I want to film at Disneyland, but of course it's been really crowded here, so I'm sort of waiting for summer crowds to dissipate after 4th of July. 4th of July holiday was here. If you didn't see the 4th of July vlog though, go watch that one, because that one's dope. Anyway, so what have I been up to in my personal life? I have been on and winning, not winning, but just on a high point of the quest for positivity for obvious reasons, but also just because I've really started to put a lot of things in the past to bed. I've really started to just worry less. You can't control anything. We've been over this a million times, but it's just, even the things that you think, well, but that's one thing though that I have to control, just the more I let go and go with the flow, the more I find myself to be really positive. I wear myself out even trying to control things I want to control until I realize, just go with the flow, do what you can, do the best that you can, and when you've done the best that you can, let it go. Don't scream at people, don't scream at yourself, don't beat yourself up, just let it go. The other thing, guys, is that when I hit my head a couple weeks ago, I should be showing you this. while I'm talking. When I hit my head a couple weeks ago, I hit it much worse than I mentioned on camera to anyone. It was just a silly little thing, periscope. I did a pratfall, for those of you that missed it, in front of the Gamble House in Pasadena. And there was this hill behind me. So I hit my head on the ground. Well, like I said to the doctor, like, but I hit my head in the grass, you know, it was so soft. And he goes, but the inside of your skull isn't. What happens is your brain bounces inside of your skull, creates a concussion. But there's mild concussion, moderate concussion, severe concussion, or traumatic brain injury, which is anytime it, you know, gives you headaches or changes something physical or your sense of taste or something. So I had a really bad concussion. So for a couple of days after that, or at least a week after that, actually, I was having these like pulsating waves of headaches and just gnarly, and I did that whole road trip, and so I've just been sort of trying to recover strength. So even though I've still been going to Disneyland and doing this stuff, I've just been sort of doing it in like a more take it easy kind of way, not putting any stress on myself to do Snapchats and Instagrams or all have to do the vlog or have to do the thing. After all, to sometimes vlog. You guys are super understanding. Periscope is pretty addictive, isn't it? Periscope's a live streaming app if you've never seen my Periscopes. Sometimes I was doing it for 4, 5, 6 hours with you guys, and now the last couple days, I've just decided to chill and let a lot of it go. The thing is, I like doing all this stuff. My job is basically to be a clown and run around being crazy and doing all kinds of things and having adventures and filming them and sharing them, and I love doing it. But it's really kind of a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week thing, thanks to social media. And I really don't ever take time for myself. I mean, even during the day. I don't watch TV. I don't read books because I want to read them anymore. I'm usually reading them because I'm researching something for Random Land or trying to get into some mood of some historical thing or reading some kind of Disney thing or editing video. And I really never take the time to ever enjoy anything around me, ever. Even when it's like, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday party, I just show up, and I've just been kind of running myself down. And even though I was being positive on the quest for positivity thing and all that stuff, what I found myself doing is being, I need to do so many positive things. I need to do this positive thing and this positive thing. I was turning all the positive things and all the things that I like doing, I've been turning into work. And only thinking of them as work. That's work. Snapchat's work. Doing this video is work. This is work. This is work. And if you do that, you sort of start to lose the passion for what you're doing. And if you start to lose the passion for what you're doing, not that you're faking it, I mean, I still like all the stuff, but what happens is you start to just feel drained. There's nothing ever to refill you, to refill the cup and make you stoked about everything again. So the last couple of days, then for the next couple of days, if it seemed a little light, if I miss a few days on the vlog, or if it seems like there's less Snapchats or Instagrams than usual, that's the reason. Because part of the quest for positivity, what I really have a hard time doing and what I've had a hard time learning over the years is to take care of myself. Despite what anybody else thinks, despite who, I always worry about who I'm gonna let down because there's no video or there's no this. And I really need to learn to take care of myself. So I've been trying to do that. Not to put myself above other people or anything like that, you know, but just to make sure that I'm in there somewhere. And so that's one thing I've been doing, is trying to take a little more time to even have some kind of personal life offline and not always be shared. But of course, there's all kinds of adventures and stuff I still want to have with you guys. You guys are pretty much basically the most important people in my life. You're my job and my passion and all that stuff. But at the same time, we're gonna have pretty bummery videos if they're all just me going, hey, I'm super tired and here's this thing that I don't really care about because I'm so tired. So just trying to recharge lately. Disneyland, it is almost 1 in the morning. If, for those of you who don't know, because many of you ask me this all the time, the park does close in the summer at midnight. But what will happen is, because you got in line at 11:59 or something like that, it might take till, say, 12:20 in some cases, 12:30 in some cases, with Peter Pan right now being such a long line because they just refurbished it. 1 a.m. maybe, before people get out of those areas of the park. So what they'll do is have security clear each area as the rides let off, and Main Street USA and the shops on Main Street USA will stay open an additional hour after Disneyland, so people sort of come out of the park into the shops and then they can clear Main Street at 1 o'clock in the morning. So the rest of the park turns into a pumpkin at midnight, but Main Street usually stays open until 1. So anyways, that's why I'm able to be standing in Disneyland so far after midnight. And before any of you ask, the new Peter Pan is pretty fantastic. Not that much has changed for those of you who are fans of the old Peter Pan. I know some people get pretty crotchety when they change rides at Disneyland, or attractions, excuse me. They're not rides. But Peter Pan, nothing that you loved has changed, and everything that you wanted to hope and dream for has happened. In other words, they did a really great job as usual, just like they did with Alice in Wonderland and the Snow White stuff. Nothing that is really beloved about the attraction has changed at all. Just slight enhancements, things that you're like, wow, I didn't even notice they did that, because it just seemed like it should have always been there. Really great job. At some point we'll get into video with it, hopefully with randomly and some detailed stuff. But at this point, no. Just looking at it from a distance. And by looking at it, I just mean the castle. I am so tired right now, you guys. It's been a long day. Got up super early, did all this crazy stuff. Yesterday was a crazy day, seeing filming locations, all kinds of things, which mostly have been posted to Live Fast Die Poor Instagram. You missed the Snapchat, but Live Fast Die Poor Instagram, at Live Fast Die Poor, all one word, all lowercase, no spaces. You can see all the crazy shenanigans I've been up to. I've been trying to share pictures, even though I haven't really been sharing too much video. And then there's Periscope, which is Justin Scar, just like my Twitter, Justin Scar. So go over there. There's all kinds of awesome t-shirts at livefastdieport.spreadshirt.com, including new ones coming very soon. Patreon and all that stuff is still going if you want to support the creation of these and more future videos. But for the moment, just breathing a breath of fresh breath, taking a breath of fresh air and trying to de-stress a little. You ever get that way? You get all stressed, I gotta keep going, no matter how hard it is. Even if you have to keep doing the things you have to keep doing, try to manually reset the stress lever and just dump it. Dump the stress and start over. You know what I mean, Wilbur? Of course. Horses have to dump stress all the time, usually from our rear ends as we're playing. Whoa. We're not going to talk about horse doo-doo behind a carriage, are we? Well, sometimes. Okay, this has gone totally sideways. We're not going to be talking to any more horses. In fact, I think because we've spent a little time together, guys, I'm going to have to leave you here on Main Street, USA, because I've done my duty, and I have to go home and sleep well. I love all of you. You guys are my fave, and all of that good stuff, but I'm tired, so it's time to go. Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye!